That's why men have a greater mitzvah to learn Torah. They have to reach up, so to speak, and bring ideas down. They have to spend time learning the theoretical aspects of Torah, of halakha, of law. They have to sort of reach up and pull ideas down. That's why a man's tefillin goes above his head. It's the idea that I want to connect my head, so to speak, up further and kind of draw ideas down. That's a man's vision. A woman's vision is different. A woman's vision is to be a hay. Now it's interesting, if you look at a hay is really composed of two letters. It's a dalet with a yud inside of it. Dalet in Hebrew, in the language, means delet, it means a door. It's the first letter that starts expressing itself in four directions: north, south, east, west. It's actually always the symbol of the physical world. The dalet's always a symbol of the physical world, four directions. And that's why it means delet, dalet, door. Why is a door the perfect description of the physical world? Is this world the end, or is this the world the doorway to something else? You know, when you go to a funeral sometimes, people will say, this isn't the end. The grave isn't the end, the grave is the beginning, the grave is the doorway. This world is a doorway to another world. It's a prush door le'olam haba, we say. That's why we make a big deal about doorways. What mitzvah do we do on every doorway in our house? Mezuzah. Because we want to remember, every time I go through my doorway, it's a delet, it's the physical world. This world is something which is, this world is a doorway. I'm going somewhere. A door is only there to lead me somewhere. A door is not an end in itself, is it? A door without a room is meaningless. The physical world is a dalet. It's a door. Now look at a hay. A hay contains a dalet and a yud. And what does that mean? First of all, how do you say hand in Hebrew? Yad. What two letters are there? Yud and dalet. That's interesting. What did I say yud represents? Yud represents an idea. What did I say dalet represents? Something physical, the physical world. What does a hand do? It opens the door. It takes an idea and it brings it out into the world. Right? It takes an idea, it brings it out into the world. That's what a yad does. Perfect description. Now look what a woman is. A woman is she's a hay. A woman is this over here. She's a hay. She's a daled that contains a yud. That's a hay. A daled with a yud. What's a woman's job? A woman's role in a sort of a cosmic sense is that she's supposed to take a man's idea and make it real in the world. Like in procreation. A man provides an idea, the seed. A woman takes that seed and expresses it out into the world. Which is more important? The idea or the expression into the world? Well, if you don't have an idea, you don't have an expression. If you don't have expression, the idea is meaningless. Obviously, they're both equally important. But a man's vision is the yud. A woman's vision is to be that, to be out there in the world, express the idea out in the world. If a man's job might be to learn the theoretical concept of Shabbos, a woman's vision might be to make that idea so real in the world that I could touch it. There's a home, there's a feeling, there's a taste, there's a smell. You could go into this house and you feel holiness. That's a woman's world. Here it works so beautifully in combination. So a man has a yud, a woman has a hay, they combine it, they have God. Let me ask you another question. Let's go a little further in men and women. There's another letter that represents a man in terms of his relationship in marriage. You know what that letter is? It's this letter here. It's called Zion. 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 Did I make that wrong? A Zion. A Zion is a male letter. Let me explain why. A male letter in marriage. What does Zion mean? It means zan. Zan in Hebrew means to provide, to nourish. A man's job, maybe historically or maybe even today, is to go out into the world and make sure the family has food. Lazun. Zan et ha'olam kulo b'tuvo. A man provides the food. He's zan. He's a Zion. That's a man's vision. Interesting, the first time a Zion appears in the Torah, guess what word happens to be? It's this word right here. Zera. What does zera mean? Seed. First time you see a Zayin in the Torah. Seed, Zera. Who provides the seed of creation? The man. True. Zayin is the male letter. What's the female letter in marriage? You know what it is? It's this letter right here. A Gimel. Now why a Gimel? Gimel actually means Gamal, it means camel. Gomel means to give. Gimel means to take your child and stop the child nursing, to wean the child. So let me ask you a question. What's the connection to those three ideas? Gamal, which is a camel. Gamal, which is to give. And Gimel, which means to stop a child from nursing, to stop giving. So here's my question. God, you have an infinite imagination. You could have come up with three different words. Camel, give, wean off from giving. Why does God use the exact same word, which actually what a gimel means? It actually looks supposed to look like a camel, I think, as they say, right? You know? Not bad. Okay. Why is the exact word that means three things? It means a camel, it means to give, and it means to stop giving. What do the three have in common? Anything? Well, let's just take it the giving aspect. Gamal means to give, Gimel means to stop giving. God, you have an infinite imagination. What are you doing to me? Give me two separate words. Why is it the same word? Let me ask you a question. What's the greatest kindness you can do for somebody? Is giving the greatest kindness you could always do?
No.
If I'm helping my little 4-year-old ride his bicycle, what am I going to do? I'm going to run behind him to make sure he doesn't fall. I want to get him off those training wheels on a two-wheeler. I'm going to run behind him and make sure he doesn't fall. Am I giving? Yes or no? Am I giving? Yes. If I see my 17-year-old on a bicycle and I run behind her to make sure she doesn't fall, am I giving or am I setting the stage for future psychotherapy? What am I doing? Because you know what the purpose of giving is? The purpose of giving is to give to the point where the person doesn't need you anymore. To create independence. I want to give to the point where I can give the real gift. You don't need me. I've stopped giving. Real giving is to create an independent person. And that's why the Rambam says it so beautifully. The highest form of charity is what? Is to set somebody up in a business. To give where they don't need you anymore. So now we understand why the word gimel, it means to give, and gimel means to stop giving. Because that is the highest form of charity. And that's why if I write out the word gimel, by the way, I'd write it out like this. Gimel, mem, lamed. Which is very interesting because I said, what did I say gimel means? Gimel means to give. Mal in Hebrew means to, like milah, to cut off. Milah, mal. Give to the point where you can cut off from giving. That's real giving. Create independence. See how it works? Very beautiful. Do you see the consistency? So Gimel is a female letter. Because the job of a woman is, the job of a mother is to give and give and give. Man provides the zera, the seed. The woman then gives and gives and gives, but gives in order until you can cut off from giving, to create independence. Now let me ask you a question. How do you say a married couple in Hebrew? Well, there's one more letter you need to know. There's a letter in Hebrew which is the letter of connection. It's called a vav. It means a hook. It looks like a hook, doesn't it? First time you see it in the Torah, as part of a root word. Vavei ha-mishkan. The curtains, the hooks of the Mishkan. The hooks. Does it look like a hook? Vav in Hebrew means and. It's conjunctive, it's connective. So what vav always means to connect two things together. Vav, it's a hook. So how do you say a married couple in Hebrew? Zug. A Zayin connected to a Gimel. Married couple. Design or coincidence? What do we have?
Design.
Looks like design to me. Let's take a few more examples. Quick examples. You know, whenever I speak